of days ago, I did a video on Al Sharpton and the race hustlers. This was mainly to do with the Buycott, they called it. You know, I suppose it's the opposite to a boycott of some of the companies, the retail companies, who've chosen to close their DEI programs. And what Al Sharpton did is get a bunch of people together, take them down to COSTCO's for a what do they call it? A publicity stunt, you could say. Anyhow, what I thought was pretty strange, and it was quite amusing when you watch the, if you've watched the actual video in question, he was down there with a bunch of people filling up the whole store in the aisles, probably interfering for the duration with the normal shoppers, paying customers. And you even hear somebody say in the video, did anybody buy anything? So the buy-in, the boycott thing, I mean, if the point is to spend money and deprive other retailers of the said coin, I don't know if they really drove the message home. Well, what I came across today was a Real Gospel Chops post on this very same subject. He goes into it a little bit further, and I just think channels like this are really a breath of fresh air, because he comes across somebody who's not afraid to use critical thinking to decide on what he thinks of some of these political questions. And you'll see, if you watch some of this video, he comes to his own conclusions. Very informative and educative and entertaining, I have to say. So, check this out. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you like the channel, please subscribe and like the video. Here we go. Actually, before we get started, we'd just like to have a quick word from our sponsors, Small Debts. If you ever find yourself in this position, hopefully not, where you are trying to get paid for some work you've done or a service you've invested in and you have been dissatisfied and trying to claim your money back, or you just have something like a deposit you need to claim back when moving address. Any of those things that can cause immense frustration when you sometimes have to try and sort them out on your own. Now, Small Debts can come in and they can probably take all of those stresses off your shoulder and offer you an alternative solution.
Security deposit back or dealing with unfair charges? At Small Debts, our tenant advocate service fights to get your money back. No stress, no hassle. Take control today. Visit smalldebts.co.uk and start your case now.
The link will be in the description, and they're very useful when you need to have some money chased up or a refund that you've been trying to collect. To have somebody in your corner, it really is a breath of fresh air. Now back to Gospel Chops and Al Sharpton's DEI boycott. And here we go.
A lot of people doing their shopping, some of them specifically choosing COSTCO after other companies ditched their diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. Our Brittany Miller spoke to shoppers today in Harlem.
This wasn't your average trip to the grocery store. Every purchase had a purpose.
We're going to shop where we're wanted.
100 members of the National Action Network joined Reverend Al Sharpton to shop at Costco in support of the company's commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. Shareholders recently voted against a proposal to assess the risks.
This is not a boycott. This is a buycott, where we are buying into companies that are supporting DEI measures.
This comes days after President Donald Trump signed an executive order to get rid of DEI programs.
DEI started to gain traction after the killing of George Floyd. Corporations came forward and said, we're going to do diversity. We're going to do this because race needs to be dealt with.
Recently, Amazon, Walmart, McDonald's, and Meta have all rolled back their policies. The latest company to ditch DEI is Target.
I think many of them are realizing that these DEI programs were unfair. We find out when it's actually implemented It's more like discrimination.
It's not true at all.
DEI programs basically prevent us from going backwards to a time when white supremacy and white straight men ruled the law of the land. Yeah. So we are trying to prevent that pushback, which is clearly happening in this administration right now.
And this isn't the end to their call to action. Reverend Al Sharpton says over the next 90 days, they'll identify businesses who have abandoned those DEI policies and boycott them.
What's up, y'all? Gerald here, creator of Gospel Chopped and your host for this YouTube channel, back with another video. Now, y'all, for some strange reason, seems like the Blackity Blacks, the advocates for the black position in America, at least that's what they call themselves, Al Sharpton, first among them, foremost amongst them, wants to knight himself as the leader of the movement for the Blackity Blacks in 2025 under the Trump administration. And y'all, he has taken on the battle of DEI. That is his first challenge under the Trump administration. He has said, I am going to lead this revolution. I'm going to lead this charge. I'm going to lead the Blackity Blacks to the promised land, or whatever that is, wherever that might be. Maybe it's in Brooklyn. But Al Sharpton says, hey, this whole DEI policy thing that's going on here, I reject it. Not only do I reject it, but before I reject it, I adopt it. And I say, well, DEI means black. I find that offensive. I find that repulsive. I think Big Mama and them would have found that repulsive as well. I think Granddaddy and them would have found that repulsive as well, because they didn't fight as hard as they did for black folks in America to have an equal opportunity. Just for you to adopt an ideology, Al Fork Tongue, Sharp Tongue. Just for you to adopt an ideology that says blacks are lesser than. I saw in the wake of the plane crash that involved a Black Hawk helicopter in DC. So Donald Trump come out and he berated institutions of government and said, y'all been doing this wrong for a long time. All these DEI policies under Obama, under Joe Robinette Biden, these policies have led us astray. And now we find ourselves in a position where we have unqualified people in position to do certain jobs where we need the best of the best because lives depend on it. Well, Donald Trump came out and he blazed against DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, but he did not name Blackity Blacks. He did not name anybody as a race or a culture or a reason for this policy. But Blackity Blacks like Al Sharpton, who profit from race baiting, have taken it upon themselves to equate DEI with black. And well, this is what he did, y'all. When companies like Target and Walmart and other corporations, Starbucks and all kind of companies start pulling back on their DEI policies, Al Sharpton said, hey, this must be a black thing. This must be an opportunity for me to make some money on the Blackity Blacks, for me to get the least amongst them, the lowest educated amongst them, the lowest inspired amongst them, the lowest employed amongst them. Let me go out and get the least and have them follow me like the Pied Piper and say, hey, y'all, this is a racial thing. When they say DEI, they mean you, the Blackity Blacks. Nah, they don't mean me, bro. And I understand that they fought for me to have an opportunity in America to achieve my dreams. And once the chains were taken off those dreams, I could race ahead. Now, if I chose not to race ahead, that's on me. And Big Mama and them need to deal with me. The ancestors need to deal with me because they kicked the gate open by their blood, sweat, and tears. Now, if I want to sit there at the gate that is now open and not go through it, well, we need to have a conversation with the ancestors. Because, bro, we worked hard to get you here, and now you not going to perform? We got a problem. And DEI ain't got nothing to do with the problem. That's why DEI does not equate to black. But you got people out here, these race hustlers like Al Sharpton is going to say, oh, well, COSTCO said, well, we're not going to pull back on our DEI policy, so come over here and spend your money at COSTCO. He went through the hood handing out gift cards for COSTCO. $120 or so, $150, something like that. I believe my Costco membership is about $160 per year. So, bro, that little gift card ain't gonna even pay my membership. So what are we talking about? Well, y'all, some people decided to review the video footage of Al Sharpton and his publicity stunt walking through Costco with some blackety blacks who probably haven't achieved according to what the ancestors set them up to do. Well, they set you up for success in America, and you still sitting here uneducated, unemployed, uninvolved, listen, uninspired. The ancestors set you up for success, and here you are sitting at the gate that they kicked open. I saw somebody post the other day, said, look, Donald Trump has canceled Black History Month. No, you can go right to the link to the White House and see that he has not only acknowledged it, but he praised it. And these are the kind of narratives that get promulgated and pushed in the blackety black community, y'all, and we fall for it because we uneducated. Well, I'm going to take my name out that weed because I'm very much educated and I'm proud for it. No, not DEI. Earned, not given. And I need you to take on that same attitude and say, hey, we now have an opportunity to be great just like anybody else in this country. Let's take that opportunity. Well, in order for you to do that, I need you not to follow behind people like Al Sharpton as the Pied Piper. I'm not going to call him Reverend Al anymore because he ain't got no reverend credentials, in my opinion. But he led a group, y'all, through Costco, and they did a little march and did a little chant and had the cameras there, had the camera phones out, made a little scene so they could put it out on social media and try to market this thing in support of Costco. They said, no, it's not a boycott, it's a buycott. So we're going to give out gift cards and let y'all go in here and shop. Surprisingly, y'all, after all of this foolishness, after this stunt, it turned out that footage leaked from this little march through of one little Costco location. I still ain't been able to find out what location that was, but they need to be held accountable for allowing this foolishness to go through because I can't even get inside of Costco without scanning my card. And you let all these blackety blacks walk through there and disturb the membership paying customers of your selective club. You allowed them to do that. Okay. Well, we see where you at, Costco, but I got a family to feed. I got kids to feed. I ain't gonna pull my membership. No, you got something I need. You got something of value to me, so I ain't pulling back. I don't care what Al Sharpton say about Target or Walmart or anywhere else. If you got it and I need it, I'm going to get it. Forget all these blackety black narratives. How you gonna equate DEI to black? Boy, we got so many black folks out here who are achieving, who are excelling, who are stretching the limits of the American dream. And here you are, stuck with blackety black and DEI as an albatross around your neck, running through the hood trying to tell people that they can't make it. They can't do better without a handout. How dare you disrespect the ancestors in such a way, you fraudulent Negro. It's all right. Let's get back to the story, y'all. Al Sharpton, who still has the Reverend on his name on the X platform, posted this up on X. It said, today in Union, New Jersey. Oh, okay, now we know where it is. Today in Union, New Jersey, Mayor Ras Baraka, Reverend Steffi Bartley, and I led over 300 people in a DEI boycott at Costco because they haven't abandoned diversity, equity, and inclusion, and we won't abandon them. As Mayor Baraka said, if companies want to evacuate DEI, we need to evacuate their stores. But if they stand with us, we should stand with them. End quote. Our dollars have power, and we are making it clear we will support those who uplift our communities and hold accountable those who don't. This is just the beginning. Let's keep pushing forward. Hashtag DEI boycott. Hashtag we stand united. Hashtag buy in for DEI. Hashtag NAN. Oh, NAN. Had to put that in there. The National Action Network. the scam network, the blackety black defrauding scam network of Al Sharpton. Okay. This is what he's used to. This is what he's accustomed to. And this is what y'all used to. I need you to break free from this kind of foolishness, because Negroes like this will always be around, and they will always come around to the hood at opportune moments. Try to make you feel less than, try to make you feel downtrodden, try to get you to follow them and their narrative. If you sitting up here with a middle school education and you can't get a career going, I need you to look in the mirror and figure out why. Don't lean on Al Sharpton, because he's going to tell you people have beat you down. I'm going to tell you, you got a middle school education. If you have no training, no experience, and no education, how do you expect to get out here and get ahead in America in a capitalist society? How do you expect that? I think you are looking for more than you deserve. I think you need to get your weight up. Get out there and earn it. Some people say DEI stands for didn't earn it. Well, I need you to get out there and earn it. Take some responsibility upon yourself. Put the work in. And I promise you, in a country like this, a country as great as this, a country with a storied history like this, where your ancestors paid the price for you, your ticket already been punched, bro. The way has already been made. All you need to do is walk in your calling. If you refuse to do that, well, that ain't no Big Mama and them, because you standing here uneducated, uninspired, uninvolved. I need you to do better. I need you to get out there and earn it.
This is a fairly lengthy video. I won't deny it. And normally I wouldn't play such a lengthy clip. On this occasion, I mean, this guy, the Real Gospel Chops, he's good at what he does. He's an excellent narrator, and he breaks down this matter in such a concise way. I just think it's worth watching as much as you can manage, you can digest. So I'm gonna let it play. I'm gonna let it run, and I hope you find it informative. So take in as much as you can.
That we need to discipline ourselves and punish and reward those who come out either to support us or be against us. So all of the companies that say they want to back away from diversity, equity, and inclusion, we need to show them by not showing up to their stores, by not spending our money in their establishments. And we're here at COSTCO today because we support people who support us.
That's right. That's right.
And if you want to stand up with us, we should stand up with you. We're going to spend our money, and we're going to make the market share at Costco grow, and the other market share at other places diminish, because our dollar means something to us. It means something to this economy. It means something to this country. And if we all join together.
Shop at Costco.
Shop at Costco. Shop at Costco. Shop at Costco. Shop at Costco.
Hold on.
You're gonna get it. I'm walking with the government.
Thank you.
I'm walking with the government. That's right.
Doesn't look like anybody bought anything. Won't be able to.
And there you have it, y'all. So now you know the truth. When Donald Trump comes out and he talks about DEI, he ain't talking about black. He is not equating DEI with blackness. Anybody who tells you that is a liar. Don't fall for it. When he came out talking about the Black Hawk helicopter accident in DC, well, it turns out they have released the name of that third pilot on that Black Hawk, and it was a white woman. So when he talks about DEI, you need to understand where he's going with it. He didn't want to say it that night when he came out ripping the military and DEI policies. But I knew that he knew something he wasn't saying. A lot of people tried to take issue with what Donald Trump was saying that night. I said, no, he don't usually act like this. If you follow his pattern of practice, if you follow who he is as a man, you know there's something there that he's not saying. He's tuned up, he's turned up, and he's showing out at this microphone, but there's something behind this. You know that dozens of people had lost relatives that night, family members that night. Dozens of people were grieving, and he came out ripping. You say, well, seems insensitive. No, if it is insensitive, there has to be some reasoning behind it, because he's going in specifically on an issue, DEI. The man knows something. Well, we come to find out that there was a white woman who was the third pilot on that Black Hawk helicopter. And we know that white women have been the main beneficiaries of DEI policies. That's why it's absurd and insane for y'all to insinuate that DEI equals black. No, it does not. And when the president talks about it, he ain't talking about black. Seems like the blackity blacks always want to put themselves in the middle of the mix so they can extrapolate coins from the community. You always got these people like Al Charlatan who come out here and try to extract that money from the hood, try to get you all upset that you would empty your pockets on some foolishness. Do your research. You chanted, you got your hurt feet and your hurt bunions and your corns blazing, and you walk right out of there without spending no money. What was the benefit to Costco? Nothing. And you got to see that when you assess these other corporations and companies, when they look at y'all blackity blacks and say, well, what is the benefit for allying ourselves with them? Nothing. I think we're going to fall back. Yeah. You keep following people like this, y'all, they're going to lead you right over the cliff. Pay attention to people who are out here talking right, who are trying to get you on the right track, because this country is going in a certain trajectory, whether you like it or not. You're going to have to get with the program for the next 4 years, whether you like it or not. You can sit there and be angry every day. You can sit there and feed your mind with voices who want you to be upset, off your square every day. You can do that if you want, or you can get in line and align yourself and your family members and your community with policies and issues and initiatives that are going to set you on the right track to be successful in the future. It's your choice. What choice will you make when you come to that fork in the road?
Hope you found that somewhat entertaining and, of course, informative. Like I said, it's a breath of fresh air to hear somebody, especially, fortunately, I have to point this out, within the black community, not that it's supposed to be much of an issue, having their own point of view and being able to weigh things up using what some describe as critical thinking. So, as per usual, you've been here with myself, Owen Ueje, on the move today. I'd say be good, be safe, and be creative. For now, I'm gonna speak. We're out.